Have you ever felt the weight of 1,000 eyes on you, silently judging every step, every word, every choice you make? Maybe it was in school, maybe at work, maybe even at home. You could feel it, heavy on your chest, like invisible hands pressing you down, telling you who you are, or rather, who you should be. And yet, you never said a word. You never moved against it. You just bent a little lower, swallowed a little more, and tried to disappear into the background. But imagine, just for a moment, waking up one morning and realizing that none of it matters. The whispers, the stares, the judgments, they have no power over you anymore. Imagine the weight lifting from your shoulders, the chest finally expanding, the first deep breath of true freedom filling your lungs. This is the strange, electric sensation that comes the moment you stop caring about opinions. At first, it feels terrifying, because we've been taught all our lives that approval defines us. But slowly, very slowly, you begin to feel alive in ways you never knew were possible. For most of our lives, we are prisoners of what others think. We shrink ourselves to fit their mold. We smile when we don't mean it, we nod when we disagree, we hide the things that make us unique, all to fit a pattern someone else drew for us. And somewhere along the way, we forget who we truly are. We forget that our value isn't measured by applause, by likes, by nods of approval. This is for anyone who has ever held back, silenced a thought, or buried a dream because someone else's judgment seemed louder than their own heartbeat. I want you to picture something. A young person standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping around them, terrified to leap. Below, the world is shouting, faces distorted, voices like thunder, warning them not to jump. Every "you can't," every "you shouldn't," every silent criticism that has ever been thrown their way feels like a stone in their backpack. It weighs them down, slows them, makes them doubt themselves. And yet, deep inside, there is a tiny voice. A voice almost drowned out by all the noise, yet somehow persistent. It whispers, "What if I just leap anyway?" When you finally stop caring about opinions, something magical happens. The stones in your backpack begin to fall away. One by one, slowly, almost imperceptibly, the weight lifts. You notice it first in small ways. You say something you wanted to say, and the world doesn't crumble. You wear something that feels like you, and the ground doesn't open beneath your feet. And then you realize you've been carrying this weight for far too long. And you don't have to anymore. It's in the quiet moments, when no one is watching, that the real transformation begins. The courage to walk alone, the courage to speak your truth, the courage to pursue what sets your soul on fire, even if no one cheers. At first, it feels like trembling, like uncertainty, like vulnerability in its purest, scariest form. But slowly, that trembling becomes power. That vulnerability becomes armor. And the life you've been longing for, suddenly, it feels possible. The world will still whisper. The world will still judge. Shadows of doubt will rise. But their noise no longer matters. Their opinions no longer define you. The chains have been lifted, and for the first time, you are free. Real freedom. The kind that makes your chest ache with awe. The kind that makes the morning feel like a gift, not a burden. Think about all the great souls who came before you. Every dreamer, every innovator, every person who changed the course of history. They all faced rejection, misunderstanding, criticism. Every trailblazer was told they were foolish. Every visionary was told they couldn't. And yet, they persisted. Not because the world approved, not because they had certainty, but because they listened to their own voice. And that voice, that quiet, insistent inner voice, is louder than any opinion that the world will throw at you. The opinions of others are shadows. Shadows of fear. Shadows of limitation. Projections of someone else's insecurities. They are not truth. They are not yours. When you stop giving them power, clarity blooms like a sunrise you've been too blind to see. Failures become lessons. Setbacks become fuel. Solitude becomes a companion. Life, in its raw, untamed beauty, begins to awaken inside you. And one day, in a moment so quiet you almost miss it, it hits you. You've been free all along. Not because the world changed, but because you finally stopped giving it control over your heart. And then you notice the small miracles. You laugh without hesitation. You speak without fear. You chase your dreams without asking permission. The life you've been longing for, it begins to feel real. You don't just exist anymore. You are alive. Every step forward feels like reclaiming something you never knew was yours. So stop giving your power away. Stop shrinking to fit expectations. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Embrace the unfiltered, glorious version of yourself. It won't be easy. Shadows will still rise. Opinions will still float through the air like smoke. But they cannot touch you unless you let them. You are the keeper of your own voice. You are the author of your own story. The world may talk. It may judge. It may whisper its fears. But you have chosen freedom. And in that choice, you discover something eternal. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Stop listening. Start living. And never apologize for the life you were meant to live.